Hi, welcome to Wizard and the Bruiser. I'm the Bruiser, Holden McNeely.
And I'm the Wizard, Jake Young.
And today we're talking about Marcus Hit It!
Hawaii! Miku senpai! Break it down.
That's right, we're talking about Hatsune Miku. Jeez Louise. I think I'm going to be stumbling over a lot of words in this one. The look on Marcus's face is priceless right now.
Well, wait, pump it up. Let's get into it.
Fine. Marcus, can you describe what you're seeing on screen right now?
I am seeing a computer-generated Japanese anime girl dancing in front of a live audience, all holding glow sticks and freaking the fuck out.
In unison. In a very regimented, unified way.
We're playing with a live band, too.
Yes, I know. It's impressive.
One of the weirdest things about the Hatsune Miku phenomenon to me is just how fucking freaky it is to an outsider.
Yes.
But she has been so omnipresent for at least 10 years at this point that any anime fan's like, oh, yeah, the robot lady we all love.
Yeah, totally. I love it. It's so
true, are you talking
Jake.
about the tiny computer teenager that we hold in our hearts?
It's so true. I wanted to freak Lexi out one night, so I was like, hey, check this out. And I played exactly the video we just played for Marcus to upset him. And it scared her. It is, I think it's like, it encapsulates the future better than anything else I could possibly, like if an alien came down and was like, what does the future look like? I'd be like, this is what the future looks like.
It absolutely looks like this, because to talk about Hatsune Miku is to talk about pop music in general. Like,
yes. And crazy-ass Japan.
Because, like, Madonna will get old. Britney Spears will go crazy. Christina Aguilera will get dirty. Miley Cyrus will do whatever the fuck is happening over there. Justin Bieber will become a weird nightmare asshole creature. But Hatsune Miku will never get corrupted. She's a digital file.
No, and none of the people you just named have over 100,000 songs under their belt. No, but Miku, Miku, she does. And that is the most interesting thing, I feel like, is the user-generated element of her. She is pop star, the meme, pop star, the internet version.
It's the same way that, like, dicking around on, like, a Casio synthesizer let you feel like you were a rock star. The Miku software let you pretend you were a pop producer, and then, like, everyone just stopped pretending and was just like, no, these are pop songs now. It starts with the Vocaloid technology.
Yes. So let's take a step back here. In order to understand Hatsune Miku, we must understand the very, very evil sounding company that she comes from, Krypton Future Media. She's a singing synthesizer application that Krypton Future Media created.
The technology itself was developed by the Yamaha Corporation,
yes, they created the Vocaloid, Vocaloid 2, Vocaloid 3, and Vocaloid 4, which is a singing synthesized technology and then Krypton just created the application, the singer library, essentially.
They took the core of Vocaloid technology is before that, virtual singers, like artificial computer generated singing, was entirely done with, like, synthesized sounds with, square waves and all that stuff. Basically when you think of, like, I am a computer talking.
Shut him off! Marcus, shut him off!
What? I'm afraid I can't do that.
Why is he talking? Make him stop it, Marcus.
And that's very unsettling and unnatural, but by using pre-recorded samples of real human audio and then applying the same techniques that you often associate with auto-tune, like pitch correction and hitting different notes, you can actually create this virtual singer that can sing whatever you want. And it helps that Japanese has a very, I'm using the wrong word, but staccato, like very like fragmented phonetic base.
Well,
it's a lot of hard consonants.
It's a little bit simpler in Japan. I'm going to use a word called diphone, and that diphone is essentially kind of when you place two vowel sounds together. Well, the Japanese, and I might be butchering the exact definition of that, but bear with me here. The Japanese language requires 500 diphones per pitch. The English language requires 2,500.
Right.
So that gives you an idea of why it just works a little bit better in the Japanese language. That said, there are English singer libraries out there, but Hatsune Miku just hits the sweet spot, just knocks it out of the park, and it also for the Japanese culture just works so much better because they're so obsessed with what the future looks like, and they're obsessed with anime idols,
right?
You know, drawn idols that they worship and obsess over. So it's a lot easier for there to be like an anime pop star that exists in a computer.
There were anime pop stars before that. You know, it's just that the individual characters were owned by various corporations and voice actresses and all that.
Right.
There was always like anime heroine CDs, drama CDs. That was like a common thing. It was like, imagine if the Archies were just half the music industry. This otaku like anime heroine music scene was already existing.
Yes.
So the Vocaloid technology was just part of like a music production suite.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, what was the evil corporation's name?
Krypton Future Media.
Krypton Future Media.
Do you think Hatsune Miku's going to have to fight against Krypton Future Media at some point, and it's going to be this big, like, crazy, like,
you
cyber
mean when
war?
she definitely becomes self-aware?
Absolutely, and has all the consciousness of all the people because they keep writing songs with her voice, so she'll get the consciousness of all those songs. It'll be 1,000 voices in one. Oh my God, Jake.
I've just seen the concert footage, and you can't have that many millions of people physically shooting their love at a computer without something going rogue.
So with the Vocaloid technology, you type in the lyrics, you enter in the melody. The software can then change the stress of the pronunciations, add effects such as vibrato, or change the dynamics and tone of the voice. Each Vocaloid is sold as a singer in a box designed to act as a replacement for an actual singer. Now, in order to do this, it involves a couple of different items, or a couple of different elements. One is the score editor, which is straight up like that piano roll editor where you input notes and whatnot. The lyrics are automatically converted into phonetic symbols using a built-in pronunciation dictionary. A phoneme, by the way, is one unit of sound that distinguishes one word from another in a particular language. And then the singer library is a database of vocal fragments sampled from real people. It's a database that must have all possible combinations of phonemes of the target language and all variations on them, like diphones, which I mentioned earlier, which is a chain of two phonemes, and sustained vowels. Now, the interesting thing about that, too, is, for example, the very first singer library from Krypton Future Media was Miko, Meiko, and she was originally what was her name? I'm not finding it right now, but either way, the voice actress that laid down the Miko, she says it's a very strange feeling because you're essentially giving your whole voice dictionary vocabulary off to millions of people to create whatever they want to using your voice. So you're just like hearing your own voice back to you, saying whatever horrible shit some fucking, lonely dude in a weird, cigarette-filled, smoke-infested single apartment, It's just the floors are sticky. I'm not going to explain what the substance is on the floor.
There's just a specific acoustic flavor to an apartment filled with cum rags.
Yes,
it's just
absolutely
pop music. Now this is kind of the weird thing is Hatsune Miku was designed from the by giving it this otaku face, it like gave it just enough of an opening for it to like actually gain popularity within the otaku internet culture.
Yes,
and like everything about Miku's design, from the giant flowing like future hair to the fact that there's actually on her like gross weird puffy umbrella sleeves that don't connect to anything.
Yes, and
those freak me out.
Yeah, they have little you'll see like little dots and things on them, and they kind of are the actual
That's
piano
the
roll.
UI from Hatsune Miku's name. roughly translates as
Gotcha.
first sound of the future.
First sound of the future.
Miku means future. So like in
Yes.
all these songs where people are just chanting like Miku, Miku, they're just shouting at the robot teenager, the future.
The future, yes. Hatsu means is first. Ne is sound, and future is Miku. So there you go. And I should say too that this particular Hatsune is taken from the voice actress Saki Fujita, who is she's done a few things. She is also I found a fun little interesting connection. She sang the ending theme to the anime
Tokimeki Memorial.
And we mentioned that one time before, Jake, on Wizard and the Bruiser. Do you remember which episode that
Hideo
was?
Kojima.
Hideo
Konami
Kojima
did Tokimeki Memorial, the dating sim.
Yes, absolutely. And I was like, I pissed my pants and then apologized to my girlfriend shortly after when I found that connection. And her animation was created by an artist named Kei Garo. Now, I think the interesting thing that you were just mentioning how it really took off in Japan, but originally it was designed just for producers. I don't think they had any idea that her design would actually become this worldwide phenomenon that it did. But and he was only given the basic idea that she had to be an android and that her color scheme needed to be turquoise because that was based on Yamaha's signature synthesizer color. And then he added all that horny schoolgirl stuff.
That's the weirdest thing about this is that the horny schoolgirl stuff is just like the background radiation of Japan.
Yeah. That's just any artist, 9 out of 10 artists that you would pull from the street and say, design me a
horny schoolgirl coming up. This is a pizza restaurant. Pizza Chan loves to fuck. I will say that like cultures and like whatever liberal bullshit that you want to throw on me, fine, but like she has by default no personality. She is just a lithe, forever young like mannequin that you can just project all of your desires and like emotions on.
Yes.
Which at first I was like, that's creepy, but then I was like, what the fuck is a pop star? Like what the fuck is Nicki Minaj? Like compared to Hatsune Miku, like it's both just this like wall of colors and sexuality and desire and good music that you just kind of like that is just free to transform into whatever is needed by the society.
This is just pop star at its barest form because I mean you just add on to the fact that all these songs are created by other people that she's singing. All these songs are created by the user, and they're getting their own songs blared back at them. And that's kind of the insane, I think, part of it is that it is such a user. It is like finally we are just fully informing what the pop music is and how it is performed and sung.
The same way that like how autotune actually kind of came up around the same time, and the same way that like autotune existed for professional musicians, but people had the most fun with it, kind of pushing the limits of like that robot-y voice. A lot of the most popular Miku songs have like an almost impossibly fast like lyrics just blazing past. At speeds that a human singer can't reach, with incredibly high notes that a human singer couldn't sustain, because that's original, that's new, that is a sound that could only come from the tools that these nerds had. And we're talking about it like this grand movement of amateur musicians, and we're talking about this exploding popularity that just like consumed culture, but it all had humble beginnings. The first big breakout Miku hit.
The Leak song?
Yep.
Leva Polka?
Levin
Polka? All right, let's give the people
Put
what
on
they
your
want.
meme goggles to the far-off year of 2008 and remember this little flash classic.
I had to do some digging on this one, Jake, because I could not understand why it is or what it is. All right, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Here we go now.
Looking at Marcus's face.
One, two, three.
Kind of like it. Yeah. I like polkas.
Now, if you're old enough to actually remember when this was like a wacky thing you would actually click on the internet, congratulations, you're an old fucker. That's it. It's just
over and over again. So in order to explain this, I kind of want to take one step even further back and say that, talking about kind of the user-created music that made Hatsune Miku such a phenomenon, it all kind of, this software came out at the same time that the YouTube sensation was happening, and for Japan that was Nico Nico Duga, which is Smile Smile Video, which is the Japanese YouTube, and it just since that was such a popular thing at the time as well, the fact that users could upload their own pop songs by this single same pop singer, it all just kind of happened at once and just blew Hatsune Miku into the stratosphere in Japan and made her such a phenomenon.
It was, the YouTube analogy is perfect because animators, musicians, dancers, like basically just if you were an amateur creator and you were capable of producing sound and motion, you posted it to Nico Nico.
And help me put the pieces together on Levin Polka, because I was so confused, Jake. Because we should also explain that not only is she singing that song, but in the video, it's like a weird, silly version of her, like a caricature version of Hatsune Miku, and she's smashing the ground with a leek.
Yeah.
Like the vegetable, a Welsh onion. And she became synonymous with holding leeks.
I mean...
Why, Jake?
The same way that we had YouTube and 4chan, Japan had Nico Nico Doga and 2chan, and so memes would just kind of build on top of each other. So there's like, if you...
Loituma girl?
Yeah, there was, we knew it in America as leek spin, but it was just that same song with a picture, or with a gif of a character from Bleach or a Hime spinning a leek, and just the weird, like, off-kilter music.
Loituma is the name of the band that originated Levin Polka. Whereas what we just heard, though, was Hatsune Miku's cover of this meme song.
The Robots cover.
Yeah.
Yes. The Robots cover.
I'm trying, like, I know we're, like, overstating it, but, like, it was basically Hamster Dance or Gangnam Style. It was just this goofy musical earworm that just kind of permeated through the meme space of Japan in, like, 2008.
And now it's on, like, Just Dance. You can, like, dance. You can do the dance of the... Of the Levin Polka, and I watched a German girl dressed as Hatsune Miku doing the dance very well, I might add.
That's an amazing video.
Is it now, Jay?
I work for a website that just reposts memes.
I don't have an excuse.
Also, key to that video is because of that weird, like, meme mirroring breakout hit, the leek became a symbol of Hatsune Miku, and so when you see in all the concert videos, all the dudes are holding green glow sticks in a very specific pattern where there's two in each hand forming a V like the edge of a leek.
Whoa!
You can even buy custom light sticks in the shape of a leek specifically to show your love of Hatsune Miku.
What even are leeks? Have I had a leek?
They're in the onion family.
Right.
Also, that weird dance thing is called otage.
Okay.
Wotage. Which is short for otaku and performance, like the same gay as in geisha. So wotage, and it is kind of this like Rocky Horror Picture Show evolution where like true fans know all the right moves and know the right motions to coincide with the dance. So the first time you go to the concert, you're like, "Whoa, there's something bigger happening," and it gets you more involved.
Totally.
And the very specific. Very emotional yet simple moves of the light sticks is a lot like skanking or the Macarena. It's like
totally
nerd dance.
Started like doing it a little bit of my seat while I was watching.
Yeah,
it's just you have to.
Like you're part of a group, you can do it mediocre, and it still like works to be part of the group. It's dancing for people that don't know how to dance.
Exactly,
and I'm not judging it.
No, totally. I'm in. I'm all in. Also, we should mention to talk about the visuals and everything before we kind of get into her live concerts and all that kind of stuff. they created a 3D animation, so not only could users create songs using the voice of Hatsune Miku, but there was a program created called Miku Miku Dance.
Shortened on the internet as MMD.
Yes, MMD. There was a production of 3D animations. It was freeware that let users animate and create 3D animation movies doing these dances and doing these where you could change the positioning and the facial expressions could be altered. And you could change, accessories and stages and backgrounds and all sorts of stuff, and even add effects like lens flares and stuff. So you really could create a full-on pop star experience, not even just the songs.
Full music videos, the level of sophistication, because it wasn't meant for like full filmmaking. So whenever you saw like an interesting cut or like a novel element within an MMD video, that was like a huge accomplishment. It was kind of this limited tool set to create visuals. Also, the weird thing is whenever you see the Miku concert footage, she's like always constantly flailing.
Yes.
It's a very specifically weird like flail dance where just the limbs are always in motion,
yes.
and that's based on just how the rigs in MMD worked, because the key, it's very easy, like shoulder up, elbow twist, and like actual like smoother movements, and like things that have a little weight and pop and lock and all this stuff. Like the things you associate with like true dancing were much harder to pull off in MMD. So like the Miku's like house style was formed by this like crude animation software. It's an interesting, weird evolution.
And there was a really impressive moment that I saw watching the myriad of live performances earlier in my Hatsune Miku hole that I went into, Jake. Where it was like she had backup dancers, which are actually a couple of characters we'll get to later. The twins, we'll talk about them though, Ray and Lei. I think a lot of people hate the twins, Rin and Lin rather. So she's dancing with the twins, right? These fun blonde twins, you'll love them, Marcus. And
very unsettling.
there was a moment where like the twins kind of moved to the other side of the stage, and she was sort of running to catch up, and there was this kind of like, oh whoops, I think I goofed moment. That was really impressive. There was really like this kind of, it really was a moment where it felt like the most real. Like I'm pretty sure they programmed in a moment where she kind of goofed and gave her this fucking superhuman quality that was like surreal and very creepy.
This is I wanted to get this out there because this is one of the key things I noticed when doing research about this is the MMD files, like there are entire cults of personality around individual like models of Hatsune Miku, because like as the software advanced, people would make more sophisticated, more realistic models. People would like find certain designs more pleasing. People would be like, oh no, this one's too fat. Like people would be like, I like fat Miku, like whatever.
So then there's Team Fat Miku and Team Skinny Miku, Team Werewolf Miku, Team Vampire Miku.
Vampire Miku has a posse.
Yeah.
But this is computer graphics from 2008.
Looking at Marcus while we're having this conversation.
2017, and like, so in the concert footage, especially like. The fabric gets more realistic. The projector gets higher definition. The frame rate gets better. The hair moves more realistically. Like everything about Miku is advancing and advancing and advancing, but she still has that freaky ass anime face.
Yeah, totally.
That is I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate there's 3D anime is like it's cheaper to produce than like 2D animation. It's it's popularized in video games, and it's so unsettling to me because that is not a human head. At all. It is a freaky homunculus on top of what is now just a actual human dancing on a concert.
I want to explore that in some way. I wonder if we can go and sit down and do the hard research and find the hard facts of how we've come to accept that as the standard anime face.
I think it's like once enough kids grew up with it, just accepting it as like, oh yeah, that's what like video game characters look like.
Right, but there was some guy named like Akori Kanubi or something.
Akori Kanubi. What a wonderful phrase.
It's just like the one guy is like, this is what faces look, it just,
like just what, like a basic anime style, like it works in 2D. It's supposed to be like a characterization, it's supposed to be deformed and it's supposed to be but like walking and talking in the flesh world is just so unsettling to me.
Yeah, I hear you. It's kind of like when Homer Simpson went 3D.
It's very,
episode.
Or like in Super Mario Odyssey when he's walking around New Donk City with these real ass people.
New Donk City, baby, woo! Or Sonic 06 to give you a throwback to an old episode.
But
they also added more to the sound software. They added with Hatsune Miku append. They added new tones: a soft, sweet, dark. I love the description too. Soft, which was gentle, delicate voice. Sweet, young, chibi voice. Dark. Oh, by the way, chibi, can you, super deformed? I learned this, like, today.
Chibi just means, like, small and cute.
It's like almost like a Hello Kitty situation. Big head, tiny body.
Nyatni.
Yeah, Nyatni. Kind of like pop figures a little bit, but like the Japanese version. Dark, which the description, mature, heartbroken-like voice. Vivid, bright, cheerful voice. Solid, loud, clear voice. And light, innocent, heavenly voice. So you could even now pick your Hatsune style, your personality of Hatsune.
So at this point, the otaku community, the anime fans, the manga artists, they have this character they can project on. They have this tool set to create music, and they have a culture around them that they're trying to reflect. And basically, as long as you have the software, you can just produce music, and the only thing that you need the licensing for is to like actually sell stuff with Miku's face on it. And because Japan is real loosey-goosey with copyright anyway, you can just go ahead and just do it. There's like more unofficial Miku stuff than not.
Right. It seemed really difficult for me to put my finger on anything that was official. It seemed like it was way easier to just find across the board just user-generated stuff, and I think that's probably the most fascinating thing about Hatsune Miku. Oh, and the hologram for thousands of people situation. But
the Dojin community is kind of this kind of ashcan punk rock fan-created pop culture where it's small teams of individuals creating their own works with ostensibly corporate-owned characters, but. One of the biggest Miku hits that came out of this scene was The World Is Mine.
Yes.
And this is when all of a sudden it stopped being like a goofy meme to like, oh shit, there's some like real fuck jams going on right now.
And I think that Krypton Future Media really kind of took hold of that and really made it their beeswax to try to make this pop star as real as possible. And they're the ones that really kept developing new technology to get her on stage and fully realized. They did a music video with a band who I love their name called Bump of Chicken. It's called the song is called Ray, and the video is not after edited in any way. It's cut together, but it's not. She's not edited in. The video is actually a performance of Hatsune Miku and this band playing together, and it was made possible because Krypton Future Media brought new technology in to focus the characters on screen directly to the recording camera by using a big curved screen, motion data, Wi-Fi sensors, movement sensors, and some older technology from Krypton Future Media. So it's like really creepy because all they did originally was just create the software that was just this voice stuff, and now all of a sudden they're like playing God.
Yeah.
Essentially, with putting her in music videos and things and getting her live on stage. Of course, her first live gig was in Saitama, Japan in August of 2009, projected as a giant 3D hologram. And then she traveled all over the world doing this. She teamed up with designer Louis Vuitton and director Toshiki Okada for a Vocaloid opera titled The End.
I hear it's great.
Yeah? I need to check it out. It featured no human singers and took place at the Théâtre du Châtelet Opera House in Paris on November 3rd and 15th, 2013.
But this is where we get into kind of this darker side of otaku culture is fans were extremely protective of Miku. They hated the Marc Jacobs designs. They said it was like too ugly. You know, they kind of gave her like human clothes and not like robot fuck doll attire.
And we should mention otaku we mentioned in the Neon Genesis Evangelion episode, but it's essentially Japanese fandom,
Yeah.
right? I mean, in a nutshell, for mainly anime and things of that nature.
Yeah, you can be an otaku about anything, but otaku culture is definitely based in anime and manga.
Yeah.
A thing I noticed listening to a lot of these Miku songs is that like they can be in almost any genre, but it's always like very driving and fast and kind of a lot of like pop and rock. Like this is music for like. It's music for nerds.
Yeah, pretty much. And each Vocaloid does have suggested genre types.
Mm-hmm.
So hers was definitely like in the Japanese pop range. Other ones sometimes, it can be like rock or this or that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting how they were sort of all they do have specs to them. I mean, down to height and weight. She's 16 years old. She's 5'2". She weighs 93 pounds.
What does she love though? What were her parents like?
Does she understand what crying is? These are the hard questions we need to sit down and ask her,
Yeah, it's oh god.
So let's maybe talk about some of these. I do want to mention a couple more things actually before we talk about some of the other Vocaloids. She sang the original Nyan Cat. And she's got her own manga, Maker Hikoshiki Hatsune Mix, which apparently is all over the place. She's battling. She's just cooking at home. They don't know what that manga wants to be.
The rhythm game series Project Diva by Sega has been running for years and has a really devoted fan base.
Kind of thinking about picking up a copy of that.
Yeah, it looks really intense. I'm a huge fan of Elite Beat Agents and Oendon, and it looks like it has that same like kind of energy to it.
Yeah, it definitely does. I spent a weird afternoon watching a dude on Twitch play it. I was doing this thing. I need to get back to it actually because it's honestly a really fun way to spend some time. But I go on Twitch, I find somebody with 0 viewers, and I give them a happy surprise by going on their Twitch stream and hanging out with them for an hour or two, and while I'm doing whatever, and
then you keep going like, you're doing well, son.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love you.
And this kid was
want to play
playing
catch later, my son.
This kid who was clearly Japanese, didn't speak a lot of English, but we were talking. He was responding to my chat, and yeah, he was getting bonkers with it, and it looked very difficult. And I was cheering him on and stuff, whenever he'd pass a song.
Yeah, Asian rhythm games are on like a whole nother level. Like if you thought Through the Fire and Flames was hard, like you got to see some of these like crazy tracks.
And we definitely need to do like a DDR episode and rhythm game episode, Japanese rhythm game specifically episode in the future. For
God.
Sure.
It's the world's first podcast where I actively have a heart attack on mic.
Another fun thing about Hatsune Miku, a petition was signed with over 14,000 signatures.
Oh, this thing!
They got her a custom-made Hatsune Miku aluminum plate created to be used as balancing weights for the Japanese Venus spacecraft explorer Akatsuki.
We sent Miku to space.
Yeah, we sent Miku to space. And she opened for Lady Gaga's Art Pop Ball Tour in 2014, and I found a really fun video of a very gay man took, just screaming like, "It's an anime girl! It's an anime girl!" Like he's just losing his mind. I think he's hopped up on E and whatever, very excited for the Lady Gaga show. I think that would be a fun surprise for a lot of people who had no idea what the fuck that was going to be.
Oh man.
So there are other Vocaloids out there, of course, also by Krypton Future Media. There's
surrender your soul
to Krypton Future Media.
We build the things you need
at Krypton Future Media.
The self is over.
Kagamine Rin Lin. This is two blonde twins that Marcus would be repulsed by the sight of.
No, just two like lithe children that you can command. What's wrong with these two incredibly lithe, partially clothed children?
Rin stands.
I just looked it up.
Describe.
It's two tiny blonde children, or sometimes redheaded, holding a heart, and they're dressed in...
Dress me! Dress me! What should I sing?
I don't want.
I can sing whatever you want.
Their names
Have you met my sister? We're very close.
Yeah, there's a lot of incest porn going on.
Well, Krypton Future Media announced.
We decide what you get horny for.
They said there's been a lot of controversy over their relationship, and Krypton came out and said that they are neither siblings nor lovers. Okay? They are just let it be.
I mean, it's true. They're just data.
That they had to make statements. And they're 14 years old, by the way. So either way, it's fucked up, all right?
When's there going to be a Vocaloid in their 30s?
I know, right?
When's old Gus, the Vocaloid?
The oldest Vocaloid we'll get to is
The
20
old
years old.
gray she ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be.
Honestly, I would love an old man Vocaloid. That'd be fantastic. The problem is you got to get an old man to say every single vowel of the English language in every combination. E-R. Wah! Yeah. That must be an insane recording process.
God, just imagine a virtual Willie Nelson that you can have dancing with little anime children.
That'd be so fucking cool, man. Dude, quit making me feel rock and roll right now. I gotta get back to Rinalin, derived from the words right and left, like on earphones. The surnames come from the Japanese word for mirror. They were from the same voice actress, which I think is really kind of fucking cool. I think that's the one cool thing about them. People found them to be kind of hard to use, but I think Krypton was trying to put something out there that gave you the ability to sort of layer two different voices. And
They're in
play.
harmony with each other.
Yes, and I think that was kind of the main idea. Then there is Megorine Luca, which is
She's a sassy redhead.
well liked for her mysterious looks and cool expression. This is from the Pia Pro website, by the way. If you want to find out more or even purchase the software, go to PiaPro, PIAPRO.net, and you can get some more information about their personalities.
I got a question. Why are all the Vocaloids wearing neckties?
They're all like schooly.
Yeah.
Because that's just a very Japanese thing. The schoolgirl, schoolboy, fun kind of thing, right? Because they have fun at schools.
I mean, as Miku has like evolved, that like whatever that future schoolgirl look has kind of gotten passe. So like in newer media, like she is like changing up the wardrobe a little bit. But
A little bit.
Also, like, yeah, the tie represents like professional. It represents like it's a little subservient, if you ask me. But whatever. I'm just a grumpy old man that thinks the computer teenager shouldn't be loved as much.
Megorine also described as cool, moody female persona with a breathy voice. It's what else? What she was originally supposed to be Hatsune Miku, but her design was put on hold, and I think maybe that was partly because it was a little more complicated. She was one of the only ones that has both an English and a Japanese Vocaloid to choose from, so you can actually do songs in English.
Let's talk about the real reason why Miku is as omnipresent as she is, and that is, as a unfeeling automaton, she can plug whatever thing anybody has any money to plug with.
Absolutely. Race cars.
Shampoo, with literally a thing with not. She doesn't have hair. She doesn't have anything. She's not a she. And people are like, "Don't you want hair like this? Digital hair? Buy my fucking shampoo."
If I could have digital, to be fair, if I could have digital hair, I would take it.
It's not how shampoo works.
I could eat a pill
Why
and
are
have digital
people
hair.
buying shampoo? My favorite of the weird tie-ins was in 2013, Domino's Pizza teamed up with Hatsune Miku with one of the cringiest commercials as the CEO. The idea, we're not going to play the whole thing, but the idea is that you got a QR code on the top of the Domino's box in which if you held up your phone, a little tiny Miku would like do a fun dance as you waited for your grease bread. Can you hit that commercial? This is the CEO of Domino's.
Hello, everyone. I'm Scott, president of Domino's Pizza. Have you heard of Hatsune Miku? Today, I'd like to announce a new collaborative project featuring Hatsune Miku.
You can't collaborate. They just were like,
Hatsune
they hit a
Miku.
button.
Hatsune Miku exists in a software called Vocaloid. Vocaloid enables you to produce songs. A character named Hatsune Miku sings the songs you create. A great feature is you can create songs as you
This guy
like.
sounds exhausted
I knew
from
our
trying to
talented
explain
Domino's
this.
Pizza crew could work together and create
And all the
great
Domino's
Vocaloid
pizza, all the
songs.
Domino's employees they're showing are all
Vocaloid,
Japanese.
Eshi, Chokyoshi, Furitsukeshi. Everyone. Amazing Vocaloid songs have been created with the fantastic imagination of the crews from all over Japan. The challenge was successfully carried out, and this new collaborative app was produced.
I'm sorry, like, I understand, like, that's the thing, is like, you didn't collaborate with Hatsune Miku, Oh?
Based on Miku's image, the Domino's app changes its appearance.
Okay.
A lot of
got
music
it.
and illustrations produced by Domino's.
Marcus is
crew.
transfixed now.
Actually, this is fascinating. Yeah.
But like,
This whole phenomenon is fascinating. This is amazing stuff.
Just watching old American men just grapple with the concept of Hatsune Miku is like the greatest
we've
thing.
entered a partnership with this unfeeling robot that loves whatever we tell it to.
God, it's good. God, man.
That's the thing, is she's the future of pop, because we don't want pop stars to be human. We never wanted them to be human. We wanted them just to look cool and sing music that like got in our heads, and people wanted to make money off them.
Yeah, I saw in a headline, like, when I was googing, when I was doing my googs, doing research, it was like, is Hatsune Miku a better pop star than Justin Bieber? And my instant thought was like, well, of course she is. She's never said anything shitty. Like, she's never like...
I mean, she has, but those are unofficial YouTube
things. But, she's never like gotten the cops called on her because she's being a dickhead partying too much in her stupid mansion. Like, she doesn't do dumb shit like that because she's a fucking digital entity. She's not even a robot. That's like the best thing about her. You can't even touch her. She's the ultimate.
Within the Hatsune Miku fandom, there's all these like weird side memes that happens. Like, do you know about Shiteyanyo?
No. Well, I mean, I know about maybe.
It started as what appears to be like a weird glitch in the MMD software, where like a floating Miku head would just like kind of try and move on its own. But the end result is like this horrifying homunculus creature where Miku's head is just like her her pigtails are replaced with 2 legs. And it's just like a terrifying nightmare creature.
I forget the name of this character, but fans made a sort of adversarial Hatsune Miku character. It's like a blonde girl that I don't think she even has a Vocaloid associated with her, but she's just sort of like going against Hatsune Miku. Like they created like a rival for her.
Oh, are you talking about Akita Neru?
Yeah, Akita Neru.
Is a fan-made Vocaloid Gijinka, which is that's the term for when you create a anime girl version of a thing.
Please, we all know what Gijinka is.
I mean, yeah, I know our audience.
I don't know.
But they literally made it was literally an anti-Miku troll Chan.
Yes.
Like the living embodiment of people that would dare hate our tiny immortal goddess.
Yeah, exactly. And her name means like go to sleep, I'm bored. I think. It's very unsettling. I mean, there was a lot of stuff I saw that I was like, I literally don't know what this means or is. So I'm just going to let it be.
Do you think somewhere across the world right now there's a Japanese otaku podcast that they're explaining American shit? They're like,
I hope so.
This is fine, dog. Eh? Damn it, Daniel. Damn it, Daniel. White van. I apologize to most people.
Last podcast on the left, they're obsessed with killers, with murder. Very funny. Very funny. When the big man screams. Very funny.
Ah, Marcus-chan, piccola girlfriend.
Konnichiwa.
If you guys ever do a show in Japan, I'm hiding in one of your suitcases.
So I think really, the final kick in the bucket, is that the right phrase for this? The final like holy shit, Hatsune Miku has made it. Would have to be her appearance on Late Night with David Letterman.
It's such this like culture, like literally it was like right before you retired. So, like, it was this...
Dude, yeah, he's visibly exhausted.
Yeah,
and again, what I was saying is, like, nothing's better than to watch an old white man describe what Hatsune Miku is.
And it's very surreal because, like, he's from David fucking Letterman. He, this bastion of, like, irony and, like, coolness and counterculture. And here he is being like... I'm just hit the clip. It's just fucking weird.
Thank you very much, and here we go. Oh, boy. Now listen to me. Our next guest is a computer-generated Vocaloid personality from Japan. And she is here in support of her expo in New York and Los Angeles. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, making her network television debut, Hatsune Miku.
And there in the Ed Sullivan Theater is that weird projector screen that's in all the live concerts.
With a live band.
And
Marcus,
doing the little flail dances.
Yeah, Marcus, can you describe what's happening right now?
She's just doing a step, and then putting her arm out and then bringing it back forward and then just sort of swaying from side to side while there's just a bunch of guys really
Rocking.
bored playing their instruments.
Oh, I think they rock out at some point.
What you can't see is the highly disappointed studio audience.
Yes! They're like, we could have seen anybody tonight.
Oh, man.
And the first comment on YouTube is, she should have sang Weekender Girl.
So yeah, I want to propose this to our audience. Hatsune Miku, I'm not sure when she's touring again, or
She went on a huge tour in 2016 with Anna
2016.
Monoguchi.
Yeah, because I want to say I would love for that to be our first Wizard and the Bruiser meetup. We'll all go to a Hatsune Miku show. I'm totally down to go
I'll
to
bring
one.
the glow sticks.
I'm totally down. I'll bring the leaks. I'm totally down to go to one.
Those are scallions. You're embarrassing us.
So yeah, if that does happen, we should organize that on the Facebook group. What a fucking bizarre and interesting phenomenon.
I listen to a lot of Miku songs. My favorite one maybe is The Secret Police, which is a weird dystopian rock pop club jam about how Hatsune Miku will go through any means necessary to root out dissent against the government. That one was that was a real fun one. And especially a lot of the very dramatic, emo kind of emotional Miku songs. These are the emotions of an entire community. These are nerds that are trying to express themselves through this vessel. Ugly people aren't allowed to make music anymore. So if you're going to want to write a pop song, why not just let the green-haired magic girl do it for you? It's very surreal. I had an appreciation for it that I didn't have going into it. I still think it's creepy as fuck, but at least I understand it.
I at least actually now understand it, and it's not just that weird, creepy, scary thing that I like to put on for unsuspecting guests at my house to freak them out.
And yeah, if you like vocal, that's the thing is you can it's just it's an instrument. It's just as legitimate as a guitar or a keytar or a melodica. Basically, all the goofy keyed instruments. And
Michael Stipe from REM was a huge fan of the first Vocaloid because he loved that he could preserve his voice and have something that was sort of that could preserve a voice and sort of keep a voice around forever, as if it were its own musical instrument.
World famous normal person Michael Stipe agrees Hatsune Miku is okay.
Well, there you go. I think that's it, right, Jake?
Yeah, I think that covers. That was your entry level gateway into an abyss of the digital apocalypse.
Yeah, now go on a Google spree. Enjoy all the discoveries you might be able to make.
Also, the entire MMD Miku dance fandom is just this giant K-hole on YouTube that just millions of videos at this point, and I just had no idea it existed until we started this.
Yeah, not at all. There's way more just shit, just people throwing at the walls.
There's more Miku dance videos than stoned gamers playing Overwatch, and there's a lot of stoned gamers playing Overwatch.
It's thousands and thousands. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, that's our show. Rate and review rather on iTunes. If you would, please, it really helps us out. Really excited too. We just hit 1,000 members on the Facebook page, so
if you're
come
listening
join us.
on your phone right now, just open that damn podcast
Please.
app. Like literally, it helps so much.
So much. And it's been really exciting to see us kind of climb the charts on Games and Hobbies, but it's only because of you going right now and rating and review it. So thank you so much for doing that. I'm Holdnator's Ho on Twitch. I stream every Monday night with my girlfriend Lexi on Lexi Loves Game Night. And you can also catch me on Twitter at Holdnator's Ho.
I am at Best Jake Young on Twitter. I work for Dorkly.com, and I'm on the podcast Wizard and the Bruiser every week on Cave Comedy Radio.
Check us out.
Leave a review. It really helps.
Check us out.
Do we have any last Miku songs on the docket to take us home?
We used them all up.
You used them all.
4 down, 300,000 to go.
Good night, everybody. Good day, and good luck.
For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to cavecomedyradio.com. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to cavecomedyradio.com.